Hey everyone, this is Chris Morton, real estate broker with the Morton Bradbury Real Estate Group. And on today's video, we're going to tell you all about 8 things you need to consider if you're planning a move to the Raleigh, North Carolina area. So every month, about 5,000 people move to the Raleigh area. And when they get here, they need to get used to some fairly unexpected things. Like, for example, Raleigh has traffic jams. So the misconception about the South is that we all drive along, poking along in our pickup trucks, and we go super slow, and it's all easy going, and the breezes are blowing and all that. Raleigh can be nothing further from the truth. We're a very metropolitan area. Cars are zipping and zooming by. Just be prepared if you are going to be going out during rush hour that we actually do have a rush hour here. And on top of all of those traffic jams in Raleigh, you also have issues in the suburbs. So the suburbs used to be really small, quaint little towns. They've exploded in size. Apex, for example, has gone from 5,000 people to 50, 60,000 people. It's gotten crazy. And with all that growth means the roads are getting jammed. Unfortunately, the Department of Transportation hasn't done a really good job of keeping the roads compatible with the population. So just know if you move here, you're going to face some traffic issues. Next thing you need to consider, towns in the Raleigh area are really spread out. In fact, from the furthest point of the triangle in the east to the furthest point of the triangle in the west, you're looking at about an hour plus drive. So just know that things are fairly spread out. Now, of course, if you are looking in the Cary Apex area, those towns pretty much touch each other. Wake Forest, Roseville, same situation. And to somewhat of an extent, North Raleigh area and Wake Forest also touch each other. But trying to get from, say, Wake Forest to Fuquay-Varina is quite a drive. One of our agents on our team lives in Wake Forest and has tons of clients down in Fuquay-Varina, and she's telling us all the time about all of the time she's spending behind the steering wheel. So just be prepared. It could happen to you if you have friends that live far away, parts of the triangle, or there's some amazing shopping or restaurant you need to go to. Just budget your time accordingly. Which leads into the number 3 thing you need to consider. You will need a car. So if you've got places you want to go, unfortunately, we are not a terribly walkable area. Now, there's certain parts of the area, like 5 Points in downtown Raleigh, or Fayetteville Street in downtown Raleigh, or Chapel Hill around the campus, downtown Durham, areas like that where you can live, work, shop all in the same area, or go to school all in the same area. And you don't really have to have a car, but obviously you're going to need a car to go to the beach, which is 2.5 hours away, the mountains, which is 3.5 hours away if you live in one of those sort of walkable areas. But again, by and large, most people commute to work, commute to shopping, commute to having fun. And so for that, you're going to need to be prepared to have a car. And if you're from like New York City, you're probably going to need to learn how to drive. Next thing you need to consider, Raleigh is a melting pot. So back to that whole stereotypical South thing that I talked about earlier about the traffic, same thing with our culture. Raleigh is very much a diverse melting pot culture. People are coming from all over the country, all over the world, in fact, to live and work in the Raleigh area. So don't be surprised if instead of hearing a lot of Southern accents, you hear Italian accents, Chinese accents, Japanese accents, Hispanic, yada, 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 all the way down the line. Be prepared. When you move to the area, you're moving to a melting pot. Next thing you need to consider, we have a very diverse food scene. So again, back to that stereotypical Southern thing where people think we eat green beans, mashed potatoes, and some kind of meat for every meal. That's not the case. You can get just about any kind of food you could imagine here in the Raleigh area. Some of the best Indian food I've ever had in my life is in Cary, North Carolina. And in fact, I have a client from India by way of Cupertino, California, that said food is more authentic in Cary, Morrisville, North Carolina than it is in Cupertino, California, which would be a complete shock to most people. But I have to tell you, delicious food and varied food. There's all kinds of different things you can imagine, from Korean barbecue, hot pot, again, Indian food, American food, boring American food, Southern food, just about anything you can imagine you can get in the Raleigh area. Next thing you need to consider before moving to Raleigh, housing prices are higher than you probably would expect. So again, here in the South, you can buy 10,000 square foot houses for $150,000, right? Well, actually that's not the case. In fact, the current median home price in the Triangle Raleigh area is coming in at about $440,000, and it's north of $480,000 if you just take out just Raleigh alone. So be prepared. If you move to this area, you're going to be looking at prices that you may not have expected you to have seen. And on our high-end houses, you can expect to see $3 million, $4 million to buy a estate luxury home. In fact, I did a quick search just a minute ago before we filmed this on our MLS for how many homes are above $5 million currently. And we are sitting at 23 homes above $5 million. Amazing. Very much something you need to be prepared for when you come to buy a house in the Raleigh area. The next thing you need to know and consider before moving to Raleigh, our housing market is a lot more competitive than maybe where you're from. So the rumors are out there that the housing market is slowing down. That is not the case here in the Raleigh area. We are seeing it on our team. Homes are going very, very quickly in days, if not in hours. We're seeing multiple offer situations. Our agents are having to fight and compete for their clients to get their clients the homes of their dreams. It's been very, very tough lately. So just be prepared that when you come to the Raleigh area, you need to come with your big boy pants on and know that you may have to fight for the home of your dreams. And the next thing you need to consider and be prepared for when you move to the Raleigh area, even if you're not into sports, you need to be prepared to pick your favorite team out of the big three. And so who are the big three? Well, that would be NC State, Duke University, and of course the best of all, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I am not at all biased, having been an alumni of there. So this is something that's really, really big in our area. And yes, there's other schools in our area, but those are the three big main schools that people have to sort of have an allegiance to. So if you have no allegiance to any sports, you don't care about sports, no big deal to you, know that it will be an important topic of conversation around the water cooler on Monday morning about how you felt about XYZ team on Saturday playing football or Wednesday, Saturday playing basketball. That's something you need to be prepared for. So if you are not prepared for that, you need to do your research, or you can just root for UNC like everyone logical would logically do. And so if you're considering a move either into or out of the Raleigh area, my real estate team and I would love to be your agents of choice. You can email us at hello@mortonbradbury.com. Give us a call on the phone number below or click on the link in the description. We'll be happy to help you out. Like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Check out this video. We think you're really going to like this one as well. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.